Okay, this is the start of a quarryman's life. We got to pull into the quarry road. Got to switch her into neutral, lock her in the low. Alright. And we're off. Got to travel up the road probably about 10 minutes till we get to the quarry. See you there. Alright, we're almost to the quarry. Here's a kind of a tight spot in the quarry road. This road was put in probably, I don't know, 30s, 40s. I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit when I bought the property, and yeah, it works well. A little tight through there, but it works well. Slow and steady. This is the first quarry. I'll get out and show you something pretty cool. When I bought the property, I had the first quarrymen that were up here left their tools, and they did it kind of a little bit different than what we do now with our dry saws, our gas-powered dry saws. I saved this little relic. It's a lawnmower that's got a belt hooked to the shaft, and then it turns this generator, which in turn they plugged in that skill saw that had a diamond blade onto it, and that's how they used to cut the saw, or cut the stone. And there's an old water tank for running the wet saws. And then if it was cold, I guess they had this old heater they plugged in and warmed things up. But that's probably from the 80s, I would say. And this is just remnants of an old rubbish pile that I had from when I first started in this lower quarry. There's my view. The river's down there somewhere. When the leaves are gone, you get a better view of it, but there's still stone here. Kind of what you want to see when you're walking through the woods and looking for a quarry would be, you know, stone that looks like that. Loose, shoved. Got to strip this block off someday. Probably about 15-20 foot. Got to be blasted and stripped off. And then you want to kind of see the stone. It looks kind of like straight seams like that. Some shoves. It ain't the best stone, but it's good. Makes money. And we'll walk over here and kind of show you a little bit better what you want to see when you're looking to become a quarryman. Here's some old remnants of some old relics I found. The old timers left some stuff laying around on the ledges. An old pipe. And this little thing, I guess it's a carbide tipped. Looks like they might have used it for chiseling, or not really sure, but somebody definitely made it. All this has to be stripped. About 15-20 foot of it. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Alright, we're here. Get the keys. Well, it's a muddy mess. Been raining all weekend. Got to start the skid steer. This is where I kind of do the main operation. I bring the stone over here in cubes, and I usually have pallets over there, one for inch broken and one for inch-and-a-half broken. And then over here in this pallet I do the what we call stand-up. It's big irregular pieces for walkways, whatever you want to use it for. And then if I get some decent stone, I put it, pile it up, and then I'll come through and go through it, and I'll cut pattern, which is square or rectangular size stone, kind of like this one. This was a reject for some reason. Might have had a seam. Or take a walk over here and show you the blocks I just stripped off. There's a nice piece of what we call stock. It's probably 3 foot by 6 foot, give or take. Here's another rubbish pile. It does have some sellable stone in it, some steps. So I'll put them in a pallet, and people like that natural edge stone. Like I said, it's a muddy mess. It's been raining, but get over here. There's the block I'm on now. It's a pattern block, which is that square or rectangular stone that they use for patios and walkways. And this is my other block. It's kind of heavier. Get steps out of it, step material, stuff I cut. 2x4s and 3x5s. Make nice steps. Give you an idea how much I took off. Probably 10, 12, I don't know, maybe 20 feet at some spots. Gets less going this way. And if you can see, again in the back wall, the next stripping, it's going to be good. It's got nice shoves and nice looking seams. There's some stone set aside. I'll cut some pattern out of it, but right now it was a shove runner, and now I'm down on a mud runner. It's a little rough, but hopefully it straightens out. And you got to get all this gobby stuff here off. It's kind of really not good enough for cutting into pattern. It's tied up, but I fluff it up and I get, pattern if I can. Nice big sheets, or a lot of times it's just broken, which is good money. Here's the wet saw. We use that for putting the lines in, cutting up the blocks into certain sizes, whatever it'll come up into. And there's some water in the barrel for the wet saw. There's some tools, hammer, pitch, shovel, old dry saw blade. Here's the pattern marker. This is what we use for laying down on the stone and marking out certain sizes, starting with the 1 foot, which is actually 11.5 inches. Everything's on a 1/2 inch less than full, and that's a 2x3 pattern marker. And then you just take, and if you wanted to cut a piece of stone, you would just take a marker, lay it down on the piece of stone, and then you would just take a marker and mark the outside of it. Then you'd take your dry saw and you'd cut that line, and you'd have yourself a 1 foot piece of pattern. What we call pot cover, which pretty much is worthless. Here's just a pile of stuff I stacked up. There's a 1/6x2. Tapers too much, I won't buy it. It goes from 1.5 to 1 inch. So I just put it up there for whatever reason. And we'll go down this way. And that's what we call fronting out the block, so you can see the block of stone. Gives you a little place to throw some rubbish, or and that's the road I have to back up to get into this quarry from that quarry down there that we were just at. So now I got to get the pallets off, get them set up. Probably gonna do broken again today. Get these taken off and put them over here and get them filled up and take them to the dock and get paid. So if you're wondering why that was so slow, my skid steer is stuck in, well, I call it slow-mo. It's got a code issue, and it is what it is. I got a guy coming to look at it, and hopefully he can fix it. So now I'll get these pallets set up, and kind of looking like that one there, but fill it up with 1 inch broken, and this one will be 1.5 inches broken. Alright, so now I got the pallets all set up to stack the stone in and get ready to make some money. So I just got the skid steer up on the block. And to show you what I'm working with here, I already took about 2 foot. It's not really that great a stone, but it's good enough, like I said, for some pattern here and there, or some broken. It does good with the broken. It looks nice. Here's what we call a cut. And it's probably about 10-15 feet down in there. And it's got some good shoves down there. And that's what I'm going for, is the nice, smooth, big pieces, and try to get some of that, what we call cutting stock. Hard to see, it's awful dark down in there, but that's what we call a cut in between the blocks of stone. And this is what I'm kind of taking up right now. And you can see it's not all that great. I mean, you could probably get a 2x2 out of that, but I'll put the whole thing in for stand up, and let's call that a day. And I'll just keep ripping this up, try to get as big as sheets as possible so I can get some pattern here and there. And you can see it's all tied up. It's not too loose. It's gobs together, and if you wet sawed it into pattern, you wouldn't get nearly as much money as I do with making the broken and the stand up and getting select pieces of pattern. This way I get nice big sheets, and I can pick a nice big, well, the bigger the pattern, the more the money, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then here's another, the end of the block. Here's another, what we call cut. I'll be stripping all this off someday. It's really not that much. That's just dirt from taking off of this block, and I just threw it there to, I didn't know what was here, so, but I guess the next stripping is going to be this block right here, and that looks pretty good. It's got straight seams in it, and I'm definitely going to strip it off. It'll only cost probably maybe $2,000 to take that off the block, depending how big. If it's the same size as the rest of them, which has been probably, I don't know, 20 by 50, 60, it'll pay off. Like I said, some of this stone, I'll put this over for pattern. We'll cut some nice stone out of that, and this other stuff I'll put in for stand up and regular broken. People can make patios and stuff out of it and pick their pieces. So now what I got to do is make it into a smaller piece so it fits into the pallet. And I do that by just taking this old bar that, I think I found this bar, it was up here. Must be they left it. I'll just make a line and run it soft a few times so I get a nice straight line kind of, and hit harder as I go. It really don't have to be perfect, just has to be kind of straight. The contractors will touch it up a little better and clean up the edges and do whatever they do to get it laid down on the ground, or building a wall, or whatever they're doing. I'm going to try to get this into a bigger piece to put over here in the stand-up pile. Stand-up's a little bit more money, the bigger sheets. Alrighty. I got to chisel this little gob of stuff off. Clean it up a little bit better. Alright. Now I'll just pick it up and flip it into pallets to stand up. Smaller stuff I hand put into the pallets. Alright, so like I said, this is my I didn't say it. This is actually my first YouTube video. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of mistakes. I'm literally doing it with my phone, obviously. And so that was the process of putting together pattern. Or not pattern. I mean, you could have cut a piece of pattern off. I mean, but it's just quicker to put it in a pallet and not touch it and make money with it. And over here I put the other two pieces that were on top. That'll cut pattern out of. We'll get nice 3x3s and some money stone out of them without too much effort. But that's the process of doing what we call stand-up. So now what I'm going to do is just take the forks, find the seam, try to pick up a big piece, take it over, take it apart, put it in for whatever pallet, inch broken, inch and a half broken, or stand-up. As you can see, the stone's really not that good for pattern. Pattern's got to be pretty smooth and even, and this is kind of better for sidewalk and that type of application. Alright, I got the bucket on. Rocks under the back to help pick it up, and got my wrench ready and go over and get the socket. Makes it a little bit faster, the drill, and we'll grab that tire and bring it over and get at it. I'll grab a little water and put it on them lug nuts, clean off all that dust. Got a little bucket over here with water when I thermal these pieces into steps. This is just part of the life of being a quarryman. You know, things happen and you got to deal with it. So I just got a thing of water here and I'll just clean them. Obviously it'll help come off if there's no mud and grime on them. Yeah. Alright. Loosen them up with the star wrench and take the cordless and zip them off real quick and get that new tire on. Okay, so I just brought a pile of stuff over. I'm gonna separate it. This one actually is that'll actually make a 2x2. I'll put that over here and cut that up, make a piece of pattern. We'll show you the pattern process another day. Today it's broken and stand up. Okay, this is a 1.5 piece. This will go over here. And just stack it in the pallet as nice and evenly as you can, and try to get as much weight on as you can. That's what you get paid by. You get paid by the weight, by the ton. Yeah, that's the process. You just pick it up and put it in the pallet. Instead of picking it up and carrying it, it's called walking the stone. It's a lot easier this way. Of course, I'm sweating bullets after changing that tire. That's a perfect piece of broken. That one's kind of borderline, inch and a half. A little heavy, we'll put it an 1.5 inches. And that there's how you do broken. Alright, so I got the stand-up pallet done. Now we gotta put the end gate in, get it tightened up, put the chain on. It's still loose, so we gotta put something in there to tighten it up. Okay, now one more piece should do it. Alright. Now I gotta take the hammer. Clean up all these edges so that it's not sticking out and it can be stacked on the truck evenly. This is the best we can, I guess. Alright, now I go get the chain, put the chain on it, and so something does try to fall out, hopefully the chain will keep it tight. Alright, that one's ready to load. Alright, so now I gotta load this pallet of stand up. It's done. Alright, pallet set up for another pallet to stand up. Alright, I guess it's time to take lunch. Well, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the old hot dog in the oven. I mean, it's cooked and all, it's just gotta be warmed up in the sun. We'll come back to that in about 30 minutes, I guess, and have lunch. Alright, it's only been about 15 minutes, but I'm getting hungry. Get the old, actually it's an Italian sausage on a hot dog bun for lunch. Alright, walk over to the lunchroom. Probably going to get a visitor. I won't say who until they show up. But anybody on my Facebook knows who I'm talking about. Alright, it's time for lunch. What do we got? Definitely need something to drink. Got the old, this is what we got for lunch. The old Italian sausage on a hot dog bun. A little bit of snacks, some drink. Well, should be good to go. Alright, I got the 1.5 inch pallet broken, halfway filled. Got maybe a 1/4 pallet of the inch pallet filled. Ended up getting 2 pallets of stand-up. And of course, tires. Got that flat tire, so I gotta take them and get them fixed. Other than that, time to head to the dock. Heading out of the quarry. To give you an idea what the road's like. We got about 8-inch clearance. A little steep. Got a brand new truck, so it should be good. Here we are pulling into the dock. We'll get a video on this later. Alright, getting home from the quarry. What do we got here? Oh, we got a little stray kitty. A little stray kitty. That's a little angel. This is one of our rescue kitties. Oh, honey. Found you just wandering around. Brought you home, and here you are. Looks like I've got a package. It's my shaft and bearings. Got to put them on the wet saw. That'll be another video. Alright, so I'm home now. That's the end of the first video here, and I guess I have to say like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions. I'm trying to do my best here. Like I said, it's my first YouTube video, and there'll be plenty more if you guys like this kind of stuff. I have lots of content from previous years and all kinds of good stuff, from blasting the quarries to, you know, stripping them with the excavators, and have all kinds of good content. I hope you liked it.